Well, I'm forced to post this video because the Waterbury Police Department has refused to do anything about a home invasion that was perpetrated on myself by Andrew Gazsi and an accomplice of HydroClean LLC. As you can see, I have a video of 4 screens where the power is on. Him and his accomplice walk down to the basement and they trip the circuit breaker because they know that there are cameras in my apartment. And as you can see, I have a friend of mine doing some work with me in the bathroom for stuff that was refused to be done by the landlord, so I was forced to do it. Told him what I was going to be doing, told him he would have to pay for the materials. He agreed and then refused to pay. So now you can see 2 of the screens are off because he has tripped the main circuit breaker. He is pounding on the back door. I'm walking to the back door, and as I walk back there, the back door just opens up. My friend is now in the living room watching me get assaulted by Andrew Gazsi. And his accomplice is flashing a light in my eyes, telling me I'm not allowed to look at him. And my friend is backing up because he sees what's going on and he's afraid. At this point, Mr. Gazsi turns his gaze on him because now there's a witness, comes into the living room, which he'll be on screen in a second. There he is. He comes out, puts his hand on his gun, tells the man that he has to get out. It's his house and get the fuck out. He's not allowed to be there. He said there was a noise complaint of working in the middle of the night. As you can see on the time, it is about 7 o'clock, and we were cleaning up. Obviously, you can see on the top left screen that we were throwing stuff out in the dumpsters, and it was very obvious as to what we were doing. The power is now still off. Um, I am in a chokehold. He has his elbow to my throat, and I have a broken neck in a collar. I have fused vertebrae. He is completely and utterly threatening me at this point, telling me that if I don't pay him his rent, he will kill me. He says I better have his rent for him tomorrow. If I don't, I won't be alive. His accomplice then says for me not to look at him, and I was looking up, and he swings the baton flashlight. I duck and leaves a crease in my cabinet in my kitchen. Um, he just came back out to make sure that there were no witnesses, and decided that he did not want to do anything else because he didn't know if there were still witnesses to be seen. So at this point, he comes back out and decides to leave. It's at that point I'm telling him I'm going to be calling the police. As you can see on the bottom right, I'm on the phone with 911 calling them. That is my other roommate who had just woken up because of all the commotion. And as you can see, they're walking pretty fast to get away. They get into their Dodge pickup truck and leave before the police come. When the police do finally show up, they barely take a statement. They ask if I'm hurt. I said I'm disabled. He assaulted me. They asked if I had any footage or cameras. I said, well, he turned off the power to make sure that there was no video. As you can see, the videos on all 4 screens are now back up because we now have power again. And he's leaving knowing that there is now video in place, so he wants to leave before anything happens. So the next people that respond are the Waterbury Police Department, the Waterbury Fire Department, because they're right up the block. And the police come, and they're not even interested in what's going on. I'm taken to the hospital afterwards, As you can see, I'm limping. And they give me almost no treatment. The only reaction I had is a police officer came in, told me that there was no reason for me to file charges. I should just let cooler heads prevail. I asked him for his name and badge number. He refused to give it to me and walked out. As you can see, this is another view of what was going on. As you can see up by the stove, the light on the stove, the time is on. It's solid. Nothing's going on. In a few seconds, you will see that the light starts blinking because there is a power interruption in the middle of it where all the lights go off except where there is battery backup, which is my bedroom because I have a respirator. And he thought that there would be no evidence, and he did not know that there were any witnesses inside the apartment to watch this assault happen. So it is now just about coming on. And see, I'm walking in. And yes, I am smoking, even though I'm on a respirator, but nicotine is a pain to quit. And you can see I'm carrying out stuff. The bathroom has black mold in it, which he refused to fix. It had water leaks, which finally just went and just started spraying everywhere. So I went and got my own plumbing parts. Did exactly what he told me to do, get which parts. I did. I told him I should just get a whole new shower body. He told me to just get parts and keep replacing that. So I ended up spending well over $300 on plumbing parts. And by the time I went through everything, I could see that there was black mold behind the sheetrock that was put up. So I had to take that down, and that's what I was taking down right now. I had just purchased cement-boarded sheetrock, and I had a friend who was able to drive me, get the materials, and bring me back. And as you can see, we are working. It's not like we're doing anything, making any loud noises or anything. We're just doing cleanup of demolition. Not even demolition. We're taking down ceramic tile and board and plaster and lath. As you can see, this, everything was boxed. We didn't make a mess. We tried to keep it as clean and responsible as possible. And we weren't, no loud music. And even if it was only 10 minutes to 7. He claimed that I was being extremely loud, and there was a noise complaint from working in the middle of the night. I started working at 4:30, finished at 6:30, and now we're cleaning up for the last half hour. It's almost that time that the light goes out. As you can see, my friend Garcia is walking back and forth. We have the front door open. We're walking back and forth, bringing the stuff out. So the landlord had access if he wanted to the front door, but he decided to make a home invasion into the back door. And we're just coming up on where the power goes out, and there's going to be a break in the timeline. And as you can see, there is a break. The oven is now flashing, and that's where the video goes off. This is the actual close-up of Mr. Andrew Gazsi of HydroClean LLC, Ansonia, Connecticut. He is that gentleman walking there, right there, getting ready to go into the basement and turn off my power, which is illegal. There's his accomplice. You can see the bar in his hand. There is Mr. Gazsi on the last shot, hand on hip, on gun,